Okay. Morning. I'll call the September 30th Finance meeting to order. We will have a roll call, please, first. Mr. Aubrey? Here. Mr. Templeton?
Here.
Ms. Zanicki?
Here.
Mr. Emmett?
Here.
And I'm Doug Traeger. We are missing Mr. Small and Ms. Bush. Motion to approve previous meeting minutes, please. Spence? Oh, okay. Motion to dispense with meeting minutes, please, Mr. Aubrey. Second by Mr. Templeton. All in favor? Citizens' comment. Capital S review. I guess we'll get right into budgets, huh? Okay, we're going to change the order here. We're going to do CASA first. Try to get the people who are easiest, if you will, going. So. Morning, Mr. Dose. Morning. Small.
Good morning. I'm Lexi Wamhoff. I'm the new executive director of LaSalle County CASA. First, I just want to thank you for all of your years of contributing to our cause. CASA works with kids in foster care. We have volunteers who advocate for them in court. They go and they meet them. They meet everybody on the case. They can access things like health records, mental health, school records, just to make sure that everybody in the child's life is doing what they need to make sure the child's needs are all being met and not just focusing on what the parents are doing. And then we write a report and provide it to the judge so that they know everything that's happening on the case too. This is our proposed budget for the fiscal year 26. So previously, the county has provided $30,000. From what I understand, that's been the last 5 years, something like that. So we are asking for a slight increase to 31.5, just with the rising cost of living and everything that's happening. So that primarily goes towards my salary and just general office supplies, operational expenditures, because so many of our grants they don't want to be providing operational expenses. They don't want to be the executive salaries. So a lot of our county funds go towards that other grants don't really want to be involved in, that are also very important in making sure our doors stay open and we keep being able to provide our advocacy to our kids. Yes.
So some of the other things that are going on is the fees are pretty inconsistent when they come from the court system. So it's hard to balance that sometimes to actually fund an organization based on fees that may or may not come in on a routine basis. That's why we are asking for an increase as well. And some of the other things in this particular budget, it says we're applying for 30,000 in new grants. So that's stuff that we're applying for. I know it shows a surplus of 26,000. But if you look at that, that's based on the anticipation of working hard to anticipate getting new grants and actually winning those grants, as well as spent fundraising of about $50,000. So running an organization on fried chicken, and ticket sales. So that's sometimes we come in with that goal and we hit it. Sometimes we don't. So as you can see, we did not hit that goal for the new fundraiser we had started. So it's kind of pie in the sky. So if you put that number up there and you fall a little bit short, I don't anticipate a surplus. So I anticipate a balanced budget, so. And as far as some of the other things, there's been an expansion grant. That's a big thing here. That's why the budget looks a lot bigger than it did. So we received an expansion grant for $128,000 to expand into Bureau County. So it'll be the LaSalle County, Bureau County. And it'll be hopefully modeled almost as circuit, as our 13th judicial circuit is when it comes to actually the funding of that. But right now, Bureau County it's free for them for 2 years. We're hiring someone, and we have a lot of expenses in that. So we have health insurance and some other things that you see that's different from the year before. Particularly like, we're gonna have to move our corporate office. So as part of that expansion, we are gonna, looking at Peru. We don't know where in Peru. That has to be finalized, but we will try to keep the office here because we may have people working here. We use this office on Wednesdays for court, among other things. So I'm not sure if we'll have an office in Bureau County. We did put in a request. And let's see what else. I guess now I'm open up for questions. Do you have any questions, Stephanie?
Frank, a couple years ago, if you remember, the specialty court was dissolved and, sorry,
The specialty court was absolved, and we just made the general fund an amount of $38,000 even.
Yeah.
So should that be 39.5 then this year? Is
Yeah,
that what you're looking
I
for?
wasn't sure on this, if that court services had been split or was still part of the, is that just part of the?
That's part of his ARI. It was all absolved with the TAC grant and the ARI grant, so then we just moved it all into the general fund, and that total was 38,000.
Yeah, so
Okay.
then it would be 39.
39.5, okay.
And going forward, we'll correct that in our budget.
So then, Finance Committee, on your sheets, on the revenue that reimbursed from the specialty courts, that's no longer. So their revenue would be 38.2. Well, no, 30, so the receipt from the general fund would be 39.5, plus the 200 that we sometimes receive in CASA fines. So that'd be 39,700, and then the expenses would be the 39, the in and out of the 39.5. I just wanted to verify that amount, so.
Thank you for clarifying that, because I'm
No,
new,
all
and there's
good.
not a lot, figuring out how some
Yeah,
of this
no.
stuff works in the past is
All good.
fun.
So then, Mr. Traeger, it would need to be a request for 39.5 on that front page.
Up
On
on
which page?
Illinois Attorney General,
On the very front page of our budget sheet, Lexi, the one he's looking at.
He's looking at his, they're
Okay,
looking at the
sorry.
county budget sheets.
which one's that on, Stephanie?
57. Should be the very first one that was in your packet.
Oh, okay,
You have a packet, don't you?
that's all right.
Oh, no, here's,
But,
then you didn't sit in the right seat, Mr. Williams.
but this is your guy.
Yeah, it's not, we just want to show, we just want to
Yeah.
be open and transparent with how our money is being spent.
Yeah.
You know, if you're contributing to it, then you should know where it goes.
So you're basically asking for $1,500 more from the county?
Yeah,
Okay. All right. Loretta?
So did I understand you're going to bridge into Bureau County, hopefully?
Hopefully, yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
so why are they paying nothing for 2 years?
So the way that grant works specifically is through Illinois CASA, and so it's $128,000 each year for 2 years to fully fund that program, so that they could have an idea of what the work really will be, and have a better idea of what they will contribute in the future. So that money, 100% of that money has to go towards Bureau County. We can't use any of it for LaSalle.
and to give you an example, like, I believe, last I looked, there was about 39 kids in DCFS foster care in Bureau County. And I think is it triple that in LaSalle County?
We're right about 200.
Oh, a lot,
Yeah.
that's more than triple. So, and they're basically, those guardians come in and just monitor that that the foster care home is adequate for them. Because, I don't know if you ever read the papers, you always read about, you know, if you see like a foster home where these kids were abused and this and that, Well, oftentimes it's because of CASA that steps in and says, no, this isn't right, what's going on. So, and obviously, they provide that to the judge, and obviously it's the judge and state's attorneys that help make that a decision. But
How's Bureau County working now? How are they doing it?
They don't have.
They don't have anything.
No, they have their GAL, so we have one here, Zach Milas, his
Okay.
partner at his law firm takes Bureau County, so they have a GAL, but he's assigned to every kid in the court system, so it's a lot. They're not being neglected, no, but there could be extra that we could be doing.
So you guys are running pretty much on a shoestring, right? I mean, as far as, are you in the hole now, or?
I wouldn't say we're in the hole.
yeah, we're up $300.
There you go.
That's awesome.
Better buy a lotto ticket or something.
We're cutting things a little close this year.
Yeah,
That,
okay.
there was a lot of changes this year.
Yeah, we're
Okay.
trying to run a
That-
straight line. So.
Oh, as long as you're here, the office downstairs.
Mhm.
Are you gonna continue to use that? Because there's been talk among various committees in the county that the county might like to use that office for other things.
We are using it, especially if we get an office in Peru. We're actually gonna start using it a lot more, most likely, because we would get rid of our other office in Ottawa.
Where is that?
The Fox River Center.
Oh, okay, okay.
So we would be getting rid of that, and then our advocates that would wanna be working out of Ottawa would primarily be using this office.
Okay.
I remember we had a discussion about a year ago, where I asked that question, I was like,
Yeah.
could the county provide another office?
Yeah.
And there was crickets, so I was like, I'd be willing, if you wanted to move us somewhere else. But right now, that suits our needs, it has the IT we need, and it has that we can use the printer to print off court documents.
Yeah.
So,
Well, it may happen in the future, we don't, heads up. Anybody else have any questions?
I have to ask then where would we go?
Well, we'd have to figure that out.
As long as you provide a space that they have an office to work at, that's fine.
Yeah, we wouldn't leave you
I appreciate it.
stranded, I'm sure, nor would you let us, so. Any other questions? About the budget? Okay.
All right, thanks for your time.
Thank you for all your hard work, folks.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, VAC.
Amanda, do you have the printed out one? 'Cause I heard there's changes. What? Do you have the printed out one? I heard there's changes. Cause I have mine. Do you have a copy of it?
Yes, we're-
Sure.
So you have your previous one?
I have mine that I sent to you, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Do you want me to go through it and then I can?
Sure.
Okay.
Yep, that's fine.
So, you all received the cash on hand sheets as well, correct? Yes. That would have been sitting with your packet, Mr. Jensen.
505,000.
I'm sorry?
505,000.
Yes, that is their current cash balance as of yesterday.
Yeah.
So the first line that was changed by your committee was the legal services. They, Krista, what did you have in there originally?
I had 50,000.
Okay, I'm sorry, that line stayed the same. They left that at 50,000.
Okay.
The transfer to the general fund stayed the same. The health insurance did go up just a tad. That's for the administrative cost.
Yep.
Travel, they did lower that to 15,000. However, and what did you have for that amount, Krista?
I had 15.
Okay. However, you're currently sitting at
I have
13,000.
different figures.
Okay, Doug, what did you have for that? That's what they changed.
Well, first of all, for legal services, I've got $10,000
Okay,
penciled
they,
in.
they dropped that down to 10, Krista, so would you like to?
Yeah, I don't know
Explain.
why they're making adjustments. They're not legally able to do that.
I mean,
My-
you can discuss it with the finance committee.
My board commission makes the budget. They decide on the budget. We passed a motion, a resolution to maintain the budget that we have right now. They have decided amongst themselves that this was what we needed. And I'm here to give you reasons as to why they needed what they needed, but that's about it. You can't
Well,
change
they,
it.
it looks like your initials, Krista, on mine.
No, they were the chair's initials, Doug.
Whose?
The chair of the committee.
Oh,
Krista, who's your, Kathy Bright?
Yep.
Yeah, they're Kathy Bright's initials.
oh, okay, okay, same initials.
Yep, so my board approved an overall budget of 693,700 for fiscal year 26. 700, yep. With me being able to make slight adjustments if, you know, health insurance and stuff, we didn't have those numbers quite yet, so we didn't know if we had to go up based off of health insurance numbers and everything else.
Yeah,
But
this
since
has-
then, staff has given me those exact numbers, so.
This has for expenses 698, 971.
Yes, that includes the original amounts that she requested and then the bumps in the health insurance and the administrative costs. So that
Yeah,
is,
so those.
her
yeah,
true
that
number.
would be the slight adjustment.
Chris, I know there was mention to drop the travel line. However, on that day that was proposed, I think you'd only spent like 9,000 or something, but you're currently at 13,000 with 2 months to go. So I don't know if you want to even,
Yeah, we want to stay at that 15, for sure, because that was, our guesstimate throughout the year.
Okay.
And that's gonna be pretty much where we stay, because we have more people traveling here.
is that going to be enough?
Oh, yeah, I think
Okay.
so, yeah. Does anybody have any other questions on anything? Yes, ma'am.
I question the payroll.
Sure.
A
Again,
25% increase and a 15% increase?
sure. That's my board. My board determines our salaries. My board has been given other county VAC's numbers as far as salaries and everything else, and they determined our salaries this year. And we got rid of, we used to have a bonus system. We got rid of that line, that 40,000, and they bumped us. And then there should not be another increase like that in any near future whatsoever, but they decided that they wanted to make us where we are mid to upper range of what other VACs are paying their employees.
So this $54,000 increase in payroll, how many employees does this amount to?
So I have 4 staff and myself.
And you are the payroll elected official,
Correct.
correct?
Mm-hmm.
So 4 are splitting $54,000.
Correct. My board makes that decision.
We were projecting the levy to go up just a little bit,
Yep.
and
I think we decided, 3% or something was the.
I believe that's what you
Yeah.
factored in there. And obviously, we don't know that till we sit
Correct,
as
yeah,
finance
yeah.
and
I believe, though, the levy is based upon what the county decides.
So we are able to take into consideration, and it is by law written that we have to be given at least 0.02 of the equalized assessed value of the properties in LaSalle County. We can go up to 0.03 without, you guys having any really, I don't wanna say, but without you guys having to come to an agreement with why we are spending what we are spending and everything else, but my board makes the decision on what our budget is, and I tell you why we are doing these things.
any other questions? Okay, thank you.
Staff, do I need to go back to my VAC board and tell them that that is not lawful?
it's up to the committees. Are you going to take that legal back up to 50 and the travel back up to 15?
Yes, ma'am.
Doug?
I guess so.
Okay.
Okay,
So then, Chris, the only thing you might want to tell your board is the new amounts on the health insurance, because it did change the total amount by some.
I can do that. Thank you.
Okay, health insurance. Is Melissa doing that, or? She probably didn't know we were gonna do it, huh? Oh. I'll go get her. She is. Good morning.
Can we do health department next? So she can go back?
Oh,
or-
I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Yeah. We'll do health department, then we'll do health insurance. I misread that stuff, sorry.
That's all right.
We'll do health department. That's Mr. Christie.
I do have a handout that I will explain my budget, if that's okay.
Okay, sure.
Do you have enough? I have extras if you need them.
I have one, thank you.
Sharon?
Oh,
There should be
please
plenty.
don't.
Sorry, Melissa.
And don't do it on purpose either.
Morning. So this is a summary that I use to kind of prepare the budget for my board, and it just makes it so much easier to kind of review our 14-plus page budget. So our budget is requesting an estimated tax levy income for fiscal year '26 of $688,549. This is a 2.5% increase over last year, or $16,794. If you look on the very last page, we have our estimated spend down, and if you look, our estimated by the end of fiscal year '26, that we will be very, very close with our cash on hand to that 1 year mark for a budget. And so the board really felt it was time to increase that levy just a little bit. Obviously, it's at your discretion, but that was what they instructed me to ask for this year. So our revenue and our expenditures for fiscal year '26 are $3,572,470. This is an increase of $99,496 over last year. Most of that really is the insurance, because we, up till that point when I presented it to my board, I think we were at a $3,000 difference. So there's a huge increase with the new insurance numbers. The proposed budget will also cost our department an estimated $765,624 in our spend down of cash on hand. This spend down is increased over last year, $96,382. We also include that SEPA grant that we had. If you remember, in fiscal year '24, we got a $350,000 grant. They paid it all up front. We have to spend down so much every year. So we are pulling $100,000 from that. And so that little chart in the middle kind of shows where we are with our balance on that and our estimated spending. Our proposed budget also includes the payroll staff increases according to our contract at $1 an hour, as well as a 4% or $1 an hour increase for our non-union employees. This was approved by the Board of Health on August 28th of 2025. We have removed 3 grants from our budget or zeroed them out. Our family case management grant ended on June 30th. Our respiratory grant is still technically active, but it's one of those grants that got caught up in the federal funding stop pays. And so we can still build to it, but we got 25% up front, so we got $62,000 up front. We have not spent that down yet, and so we just didn't include any income from that grant in this year's budget, even though it does go until June 30th next year. And then our emergency food and shelter diaper grant, we actually have not gotten any money from that this year, so I did move that down to $1. If we get the money, great. If not, we won't be buying that. We also have 2 new grants this year. One is the Better Birth Outcomes Grant that basically replaced our Family Case Management Grant with a few different grant deliverables. And then we also have Safe Needle Disposal Grant, which is our big sharps containers that we have at our office and the coroner's office. Those actually started this fiscal year, but they're in our grant now. I do like to provide like a revenue and an expenditure summary, just so you can see where the money flows and what % of that is our budget. So that is what's on the next page. And then I usually don't go through line by line on my budget. I just have a summary of what's plus or minus $5,000 or more, and that's all attached there. So I can go through those, answer any questions you might have, or whatever. your prerogative.
So you use this packet to put together the budget for us.
Yeah. And I will say that our salaries, we do our salaries, I don't want to say different, but we have a few positions that people can move up during the year depending on if they get certain education requirements or whatever. And so I always assume that anybody that can move up will, just so we always have the money to pay for that. So that is factored into the budget.
Okay. What's contractual labor consist of, Chris?
It's our copiers, it's our lab service fees, it could be, yeah, there's multiple advertisements, when we do advertisements for certain grants,
Okay.
so they all fall in there. So you'll see that on several of our different grants as well as just generally speaking. Legal fees if we need them, that type of thing.
Well, you'll have to give us a few minutes to go through this.
Oh, no, you are fine.
Programs. You only spent $69, but you got budgeted 20,000?
Programs is new programs, so we have that line item in there for any new programs that come along. And what we tend to do is you won't really see much expenditure coming out of there, because as soon as we get one, we try and work with Stephanie to get it put into the budget. So like, you'll see safe needle disposals in this grant. And so as the money comes in and the money goes out, it actually comes out of that other one. So it's kind of like a placeholder of income that may come in or get spent. It's not tiered toward a specific program. And then I will just comment the non-cash IMSS reserve. This is actually in our revenue. That is something that the auditors have always made us put in. That is just the value of our vaccines that we have that are part of the federal vaccine program. So we have to show that amount as a income. So Doug, like under programs, if you go to the last page, you can see safe needle disposal. We've spent $8,000, but we had no money in that program.
Oh.
So that it just kind of, it balances out that way. We try and, as soon as we can, get a budget line item so that we can track it for reimbursement purposes.
Questions, anybody? A lot there. We'll take your time looking at any questions. What's contractual labor again? You put that under all these things and.
Yeah, so it's under each grant, so in a lot of these grants, it's paying for advertisements, so the grants are really big this year on promoting your services, promoting what WIC does, promoting IBCCP, so we're doing billboards, TV ads, so it pays for that, but it could also be copier services, because we rent our copiers, so that falls under there. It could be lab services when we're doing environmental testing or whatever, so it really depends on the program.
And several of the departments have that
Yeah,
separate
yeah,
line
so,
item.
and it's split, so the way Elaine does her magic with our budget is like our copiers are split amongst all the grants, and so if our copier budget is $1,500 a month, that is split between all these grants, so that might be $60 out of this grant and $40 out of this grant, so that we're making sure that we're recouping that through the grants.
Okay. Questions? Mr. Nicky?
The various grants that are listed here, are you 100% locked into them? Or is there a chance that something could get pulled?
We're committed to providing those services. However, whether or not the government is committed to paying us for those services could be up in the air, so to speak. Most of those, as far as I know, we have been told they are fully funded for 26, or at least funded at the levels that are listed, so, yeah.
Other questions? Tom?
In regard to the environmental cleanup that's going on here in Ottawa, is your department involved in that at all?
No, we are not. That would be the EPA.
Just EPA, thank you.
They might involve us, like, if there was a public meeting, they sometimes like the health department just to come to, I don't want to say so that everybody knows that we're involved. We get notices, but we don't do anything with the cleanup itself, so, same with LaSalle.
Other questions? All righty, guess we're done. Thank you. Okay, ma'am. Sure.
Hello, everybody. Okay, I'm thinking Stephanie, General Fund 045, do that one first? You okay with
Yes,
that?
please.
Okay. Okay, so the General Fund 045 is identified as insurance. There are only 3 lines in that. They are, the first one, professional services, that's going to stay the same at 110,000. We're not making a change. The rates I have and what falls under that is our broker and a health component called Health Joy. So we should expend around 109.5. So 110 will stay the same. The second line, health and life insurance. This is the general fund responsibility for our insurance coverage on active and retirees that fall within that category. We're removing all of those that we departmental bill, and I'll get to that in the next budget. So right now, we are looking at a 22 to 23% increase on the active, and the retiree plan, we're looking at a 5.4%. So you're seeing that increase
So
in
this
the
is
amount
all-
that's going up.
So this is all together, the $2 million or?
Yeah, that is what the general fund covers on the active and retiree categories for health insurance. And both of those, one saw a larger increase than the other one did,
Okay.
but in total, it's going up that much. And then the seed money, we anticipate, and we ran an average of how many more people will go into what we predict the high deductible health plan that has the seed for the remainder of this year. And then when we figure in another estimated number of people that we're going to hire, I see it going up. So right now we spent around 96.9, and we still have like 10 to 15 more employees that we figure will roll in this year to increase that amount. We'll probably be close at the 138, maybe 130-ish. So with just a little bit more of an increase next year, I think 150 should be good for covering the seed money. And we have not increased the rates on the seed money. It stayed
Okay.
flat since we started.
Okay.
But enrollment, a lot of people go to the high deductible health plan as a new hire.
Okay. What's the percentage of increase to the average employee then for health insurance next year? Do you have those figures yet, or?
It's 22, I mean, we're seeing a 22% increase overall, so that's split between the county and the,
So single
Employees.
coverage is what for health insurance? You know, just off the top of your head? Close.
I don't even think I have, hold on a minute, let me see if I've got it in this one.
I looked at it a couple days ago, but I can't.
I have it with my stuff, I just have to find it. Hold on a minute. Well, are you talking the 250 plan, or are you talking what a new hire would come in at?
What a new hire coming into the county, and a single person is gonna have single coverage.
Right, and it's probably going up about $100. I don't have the current, I have the new stuff with me, I didn't bring the old stuff
Okay.
to see the difference, I'm
That's
sorry.
fine.
But it's going up around 100, probably on the average for each category.
Okay.
Some maybe a little less. I can provide that difference to you,
No,
like,
that's-
later on. No
That'd be nice.
problem, I just don't have it with me right now.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Any questions
you.
on that fund, though, before we go to the next one? Oh, Ms. Zadecki does.
Yes, Rita.
Just curious, how many of our employees are enrolled in HSA?
I'd have to count. I mean, I can come back with that, but I don't have a total.
Estimate, 25, 50,
No, hold on a second.
700?
Roughly 72. We're probably going to have potentially 10 to 15 more before the fiscal or calendar year is up, because they're in the 90-day window to enroll. So that would probably give us, if we say 15 more, that's roughly 87, and I projected at least another 14 next year on top of that.
Okay. So we're getting close to 100, probably.
Yeah,
In
it'd
that
be
range.
around 100 plus.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, the next one would be Fund 098.
Wait a minute.
Health Insurance Internal Agent is what it's called, 098.
Okay, that's our last page, I think.
It just connects to the one we just did, so
Second to
it's,
the last page.
yeah, it's easier to understand. So with that one, I think the expense side of it, I'll just review that first. Claims, stop loss, and admin expense, we combined all of that into one. With billing, it's just easier versus some splitting out, and we changed that in the last fiscal year. Stephanie and I talked about it, so all of that expense, because we pay that directly to Blue Cross Blue Shield in one lump sum, we're now putting that together with two other lines that you're not going to see here anymore. So the total that we were provided by the broker is going to be 12.608971, which is a 22% increase. The next three lines, we're not changing anything. Vision did go up slightly for the employees, and that's self-funded by the employees, so I'm increasing that to 41 to cover that increase. You're going to see on the other side where it comes in from the employees through payroll deduction in a minute. Retiree premium expense, we're projected based on enrollment activity and a rate change of around 5%. to 1.699994 from the broker. I know it says 10%, but I believe that's going to be with enrollment activity too. When we move, we always shift over a number of people. So we're going to have a shift over by January, probably of at least 20 to 30 people.
Okay.
And then the labor's premium expense. Right now, I don't have a final from that carrier group that represents them for insurance, and I won't get that till next week. So I did increase it slightly just to cover that I anticipate there's got to be an increase of some sort.
Yeah.
And I will have to get back with Stephanie once I get that, but it's a waiting game with them. They don't have their meeting till mid-October,
Yeah.
and they won't release to me anything until then. And then the last line is the Pecori health tax and fees. We are provided that by the broker. It's a calculated increase. Right now, I'm really sitting right below the 3,000. So if there is increase associated with rates, et cetera, I thought it should probably go to 4 just to cover for what that might be. And we pay that in July of every year. And the revenue side. This is all the reimbursement activity that we get through payroll deduction, departmental billing, et cetera. So going through with these, we're going to see similar increases. The first line is going to be that 22% increase because that's the reimbursement of health insurance from actives. We're going to see the increase on vision to replicate what was on the first page, the 41,000, because that's all self-funded through employee payroll deduction. Then as you go through, you're going to see all of the departments that we do departmentally bill and receive monies from for all of the employer expense. So you're going to see nursing home, detention home, the highway department, Board of Health, which is the health department, E911, VAC, the retiree reimbursement, we collect that through their deductions, through their pension, and we get that and pay. The Mental Health 708 Board, Animal Control, GIS, the State's Attorney Fund. Flipping to the next page, Environmental Services, the grants through the courts probation system. And then the general fund is going to pay us their 8.957 into here. So it's like a flow through for that. And then the last two lines, the transfer from 016, we'll get to that budget in a minute, but we didn't do any transfer for like the last year or two, right, Stephanie? So with the cash we have on hand, we don't feel that we need to do a transfer. So we're taking that out.
Good.
And then the transfers from other departments, that is our administrative expense and that we pay through Blue Cross. So we departmentally, we calculate what the total admin expense is based on claims information, and then we do a 1/3 to 2/3 split. The general fund takes 2/3, and then the departments that we charge take 1/3, and then Stephanie splits that out and puts that in each of their budgets. So we're getting that money from them towards the administrative expense for the carrier cost.
So this is the biggest hit to the general fund by far, right, Steph?
I'm sorry, what was that, Doug?
This is the biggest hit to the general fund by far, right?
Yeah,
Health
yes,
insurance.
the health insurance, yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Any questions? Well, we kind of knew it was coming, didn't we? We just didn't know
Yeah.
how bad it was going to be. And it's pretty bad.
We were able to make a change, though, the retiree over 65, the Benestar program that we have. We're changing carriers, and they're actually going to get more services, but the current Blue Cross was going to be a 50% increase, so we switched to a different carrier, and we're only going to have a 5% increase. And the services are going to be better. They did a comparison. They would not have changed us, and they know what our requirements are to carry and offer similar or better coverage, and it's better coverage. So the insurance committee reviewed that with the Horton Group. So we are we made a change that was far better for us in relation to that program.
And all this stuff will come before the board for final approval in November?
All the insurance resolutions are coming to the board
October.
for, yeah, October 9th.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We have to stay on track with enrollment, open enrollment materials and our requirements to distribute
Yeah.
all of that, so.
Okay. Questions? Any other questions?
Okay.
All right, thanks, Melissa.
Nope, I got one more.
What do you got?
I have Fund 16.
Oh, yeah, okay. Sorry. Gonna let you escape.
I know, but I'd have to come back, so
That's right.
let's just get it done. Okay, so Fund 16, the insurance fund. We do not, I'm not having any change to professional services. The next 6 lines are, if everyone remembers, we have the risk management program, which is based off of payroll numbers and a risk program where they assign percentages of risk responsibility to occupations. So there's a big calculation. We use our payroll numbers, and then we will transfer from here the values of what those play out to be. So transferring to the general fund, to detention home, highway, nursing home, health department, environmental services, we're transferring these monies to them based off of payroll and risk calculation. That program's been in place since before I started. So
Have they
we,
accounted for all this in their budget stuff?
Yes, it shows in each of their revenue lines.
Okay.
you'll see the line where I just talked about, we're not going to transfer to the health insurance 098 account, the 650,000. So that's zeroed, and then transfer to the 099 insurance trust. We had in there for a couple of years 1.5 to pay down, but we did not do it last time, and there's been discussion that it should not be done, so we did not budget it in.
Okay.
So we zeroed it at this point. And then a majority of the remainder of this is going to be operational lines for my department, travel, and there's no changes to these: travel, education, dues and subscriptions, library, safety training, safety membership, employee training, health and safety incentive, miscellaneous, office supply, safety supply, work comp indemnity and work compensation, unemployment insurance, and the general professional liability. We're fine within them. We've controlled those costs, so I don't see that we need to increase anything. Then you're going to see the 3 lines for insurance trust. The bonds, the 2013 and 2017 are paid and done, so those are zeroed, and we only have the 2019 remaining. And we start paying principal now on that, in addition to the 2 interest payments. And that will start 12/1, and then we have a payment in June. And then payroll and overtime. The overtime's not going up, but payroll's going up by the 3.5%. The first payroll line says 5.2, but there is the, oh my gosh, I can't think. The comp payout capability. My employees are hourly. So I factor in what the comp value would be if it's paid. So that's why it's a 5.24.
Well, you left all these the same, but can you reduce any of them? Because a lot of the actuals are nowhere near what you budgeted last year.
The training one, if you look up above that a little bit, that one I did not have multiple training sessions for management. That's what we've been doing, is any supervisory management training. I only did one this year. It's been a little hectic this year. I did offer in past years through the Illinois Chamber, and I did pay up to the 7,500. I offered like 3 or 4 within the last couple of years. So this year, we had a lot going on, and I didn't do that. So I would like to offer more, because I think that's an opportunity for them to get supervisor and manager topic trained in-person training opportunities, and they have liked it. So I would hate to get rid of that.
Incentives?
That is our cookout we did two things this year. As far as we had ice cream again, which is just recognition and appreciation. We do pay for all of the safety training incentives that they do monthly drawings to the employees to keep them continuing with those online training.
But you
Portal
could cut that
acti-
in half with no problem, couldn't you?
I really don't want to.
Well, yeah, I know you don't want to.
Can we come back to it if you have to have me cut in a couple weeks?
I suppose we can look at it again.
I would
but yeah,
kindly
I mean-
request that you
I mean,
we
the
hold
last
on
2
that.
years, you've spent, not even half of that amount, so,
I don't think we have all the bills in yet for the current year,
okay.
because we just had that in September. So
Okay.
the bills are gonna come to insurance, this month
Okay.
for it. So we just
Safety,
had
so-
that on the 19th, so
Yeah.
we won't,
Yeah.
Julie handles the bills, and I know we haven't turned them all in yet.
Supplies.
I would like to wait and so you can see what that actually is when we're done, if you don't mind.
That's fine. Supplies,
Which supplies?
safety supplies.
I can look at that and get back to you. We pay all of the Gets first aid, and we've increased the number of boxes that we have within all the facilities. All of our AED supplies come out of there, any new AEDs we need to get. So usually
We
Fred
were-
and I are meeting on some of those things to make sure that are any expiring, because they cost like 6,000 when you buy a couple, or they may be two. They might be two. I'd have to look in my notes, and Fred probably is, if he's watching, he'll get back to me. But those are a couple thousand, so we usually review what that is.
Yeah, because we were kind of behind on, wasn't I? Thought we caught up quite a bit. So.
We were, and they rotate out. So if anything, I can look at trying to
Okay.
decrease that a bit.
The work comp lines?
You know, that's indemnity. I can look to see if, and our average, maybe Stephanie, I can get back with her and we can look to see historically over the years how much we've actually been spending.
Okay.
And then I can look at that.
How could your unemployment insurance be zero so far this year?
I'll have to check and see. I'll go back and look at that with Stephanie too.
And is that going to be enough for, you'll have to look to see if it's going to be enough for next year too, because in '24 it was $62,000.
I'll have to look back and see what,
paying it, aren't we?
what the expense looked like.
We're
Oh,
paying
if
it,
we
aren't
get
we?
it, yeah, if we get charged for it, we're gonna have to pay it. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, take a look at those for us if you would. And any other questions from the committee? Let's see. On the revenue side, so what's the is that reimbursement from other counties? Reimbursement from what?
Is that the Grundy and Bureau dollars I think we get back? Are you looking at Fund 16's
Yeah.
reimbursement?
Yeah.
The revenue page?
Yeah. 325050.
I believe those are from the Grundy and Bureau counties.
For what? Just because they like us, or?
No.
Which I understand. of
No, I
course.
think, don't we collect back based on the employees that we have there, that Grundy and Bureau are responsible for
We're-
percentage?
We're a circuit, so with Grundy and Bureau, they will contribute to the salaries. And then whatever state reimbursement we get, we'll give, again, a proportional portion of that back to them.
Okay.
But it's, that, they're contributing to the salaries of all of our employees.
And
what
our
the
insurance,
sum total is.
and the insurance, Chuck? 'Cause
And
that's what this is.
not
All the
in-
fringe, doesn't
we-
it include the fringe benefits though?
With the fringe benefits, they will do that.
Okay.
On that, so they will contribute to that. It's done proportionally, it's based off of the census each decade. Ours right now is on 2020, Right now, LaSalle County pays 56.11%. Grundy County is 26.88%, and Bureau County 17.01%. So whatever the total sum is in our fringe and our salaries, those are the portions that they will be divided up into.
So every month we get a portion for Grundy County and then another portion for Bureau County. And that's the line item that it goes into.
Okay. Well, we have pretty significant balance in that fund, so that's good. We don't have to do anything with the tax levy. Okay, any other questions? All right, thank you, ma'am. I'll try to get back on track here, Stephanie. Judiciary.
We're gonna have Lori go first.
Good morning.
Good morning, Lori. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
So if you pull out your packet, the first fund that I will talk about will be 0113, which is Circuit Court and Jury. This is the general fund. So as you know, in a typical year, many of our expenses are out of our control and unpredictable due to statutes, mandates, civil fee waivers, access to justice, which is interpreters, and jury trials. So how many jurors are brought in, mileage, and other expenses. So as you can see, many of our expenses in the FY26 budget are the same as last year, so I'll only address the line items that have changes to them. So the first one is 457001 juries. We're asking to increase to 50,000 from 35,000. The reason that a lot of these expenses related to the juries are, there's currently 9 non-jury weeks in a year when jurors are not summoned for jury duty. So the chief judge plans to reduce, or is reducing, the number of non-jury weeks to allow for more juries to be held during the year due to the increasing caseload. There are also 7 pending murder trials that we anticipate will probably go to trial next year. So due to him reducing the number of non-jury weeks, we needed to amend our budget to cover the additional weeks added. That's for summonses, juror pay and mileage, meals when they're deliberating, debit cards, and for jury commissioners. The next line item to show an increase is 502006, which is maintenance and software. We're asking to increase that to 16,500. We need an increase because we're licensing a new server in the amount of $1,500. And there's also domain and monthly services for our new circuit website. We hope that will go live mid-October. We're in the process of developing it. And that was through the grant. The next is 503003 mileage jury. We want to increase that to 60,000. That's for current and anticipated mileage increases. 541002 lodging and meals increased to 3,500.
Excuse me a second.
Yeah.
So that mileage, is that commensurate with your possible increase in juries then?
Yes.
Is that the reason for that?
Yes.
Okay.
541003 publications. Those are for, when there's fee waivers in family cases, we by statute have to post notice in the newspaper to the respondents. Last year, 2 of them were $888. So we're asking to increase it. Those are unpredictable, how often we have to do that. 541005, which is library, we are asking to increase that to 65,000. Several print subscriptions were increased in price. We purchased new subscriptions that are very expensive that we hadn't budgeted for last year. And we also pay for sets of statutes for county officials and judges, so that increased as well. 541010 is trial expense. We're asking to increase that to 145,000. Some of the expenses paid out of that are transcripts for indigent defendants, court-appointed guardian ad litems, court-appointed child custody mediations, and cases that have fee waivers. So according to our circuit court rules, all of our mediators are required to perform one pro bono mediation each year. And then upon completion of that, then the county is responsible to pay for the mediation. Last year, we received a grant in the amount of $15,000 for those services. We applied for it again this year, but we haven't, we were denied for that purpose. That's why we're budgeting it for next year. There's also mandates that expenses incurred to provide counsel and expert witnesses pursuant to the Sexually Violent Persons Commitment Act and for interpreters and court cases to be paid by the county. The county does receive reimbursement for those mandated expenses. And to date, the county has received reimbursement in the amount of approximately $82,000. That's for the interpreters and SVP cases. That does go back into the general fund, I believe. The next line is jury debit cards, 541011, increased to 2,000. That's due to the changing of the non-jury weeks. 601001, office supply and expenses. We want to increase that to 30,000. Payroll, that reflects the 12/125 increase approved by the full board for the 3.5% or $1 per hour. And I do have one union employee underneath judiciary contract, which we're in negotiations right now. So I've put in what I believe would be a fair increase, plus the service credit. Part-time no benefits, 900.100, increased to 31,000. That is for the jury commissioners if they have to come in for those extra extra jury weeks. So my budget is a 7.7% increase at $1,249,012. Any questions?
Nope.
The next one would be.
Excuse me a minute, Laura.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, Mr. Chairman. So that part-time no benefits, you're roughly at 13.6 out of a $30,000 budget. Is there some that's not current at this point in time?
That part-time no benefits is also for my part-time bailiffs to cover the full-time vacancy that we have.
Sure.
So we share that line item with the jury as far as
Okay.
employees. And I think I have, I've budgeted 6,000 for jury commissioners and 25,000 for part-time bailiffs.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. Anything else on 0113? Next is Law Library, 14000 or 1401. This isn't general fund money. Revenue is received through filing fees. $13 is collected on the majority of civil cases that are filed. So it's difficult to prevent or to predict revenue since it's based on case filings. As of today, our balance is $163,475. For the revenue, we're looking at law library fees and $55,000 and interest income of $6,500. That's on the revenue side. There is a line in there for the court tech grant, and I believe that's the amount that we received last year. We just put it in there because we're expecting to receive an application and information sometime in October. We've been told there will be a new procedure and that each county will only get a percentage and will receive less than in the past. So we just put that number in.
So when will you know that, Lori? The end of
In
October?
October is the application process begins. And then I think we usually hear in December how much we get.
Okay,
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
an in and out
yeah,
kind of thing.
okay.
So then for the expenditures, I'm asking for a 3% increase for books, Westlaw, and the 2 additional online subscriptions for judges, rather than pay out of the general fund as we did in the past. So I'm looking for $50,000 in the library, which is all the books. Supplies for the library, I'm looking to increase it to 500 from 100. Part-time, no benefits is $18,000, which is to pay for my self-represented litigant navigator. We did get a grant for that, so once the grant money is spent down, then we'll go to the library. This is an allowable expenditure under the law library account. Any questions?
On your library there, your, last year was 37.4, this year 30, just over 32, projected ending actual for this year on the library?
For expenses for the books?
Yeah.
For
Because
this,
this year's budget is 48, and then you're increasing it to 50, but we're at 32 right now.
yeah, we have, I mean, do you think it should be more? Is that what you're saying, Mr. Jensen?
No, I was thinking it should be less, or not increase from the 48.
Well, we're looking at probably an increase of $2,000 for the 3% increase. Typically, every year, it's a 3% increase. I tend to feel like the later in the year, we do get hit with some bigger bills out of this account. So even though we've only allocated or spent 32 of the 48, I think we're going to be close or even over this
Okay.
year.
So monthly, it's about 3,600, but as of last month, it was up to 3,900. And we still have 2 months to go, so
Yeah.
it's just that if there's like end of the year fees as well, and plus they will probably have an increase to their fees next year as well.
Yeah.
So you're looking at roughly around 8,000 to the end of the year? You said around 3,900?
Give or take, unless there's some additional
Yeah.
ones that
Yeah.
come in.
Because if we're at 39, that'd be 8,000 right there.
For an ending of 40,000. Is that correct?
If that's what comes in,
Yeah.
but as Lori
Yeah.
stated, there could be some additional ones.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions on library? All right, mediation, 058. This is not general fund money. This is $150 filing fee is collected by the circuit clerk on every residential foreclosure case filed, and $150 is billed for the mediation services to help settle the case. So it's basically money in, money out. Foreclosure cases filed have started going back up because they were down during COVID. So we're just asking to keep the revenue at 27.6 and the expenditures at 27.6, which is the same that we've done the past 4 fiscal years. In some counties, the county actually loses money on mediation because the filing fee doesn't cover the services billed. So when my judges put this into place, they made it so that it was basically a wash. Any questions? The last one I have is 076, which is the Access to Justice Grant. We applied and did not get as much as we got last year, so we're reducing the revenue and the expenditures to $15,000. We do have a balance from last year's budget that we're spending down before we dip into this money. So we have a balance, I think, of 37,707 right now. And that includes the 15 that we just got. These pay for the self-represented litigant navigator salary. And like I said, with the law library, once the grant money is spent out, then we start paying for it out of the law library account. That's all I have.
Great. Questions? Pretty straightforward, I think, so,
Thank you.
okay.
Okay, we're gonna go to Chuck's now. His first one is 001011 juvenile and adult probation. As you can see on here, there are 5 new line items. Those new line items used to be under 026, which is the probation fees account. AOIC has released new guidelines as to what can be paid out of the probation fees account. And these 5 line items can no longer be paid out of that, so they've been moved to the general fund. And Chuck can elaborate more on the AOIC's ruling.
Thank you for the.
Which
having
5
me
are
this
those?
morning.
I'm sorry?
Which
The
five?
first 5. The maintenance and repair of vehicles, the maintenance software, travel, telephone, and dues and subscriptions. Then if you drop below that, the general operating expense, that is new as well, and we'll explain that in detail as well.
Okay,
Chuck will, I should say.
okay, Chuck,
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
thank you.
In addition to what Stephanie's provided you, I also provide a packet for the committee members here. It's got a summary of the changes in the probation fees on the top page. I've got a spreadsheet that basically breaks it down, and we've moved all those line items Stephanie just talked about down into purple, into the general fund. And I'll give you an explanation on that. And the last part of this is from AOIC. It's a breakdown on what areas we can spend probation fees on, what are considered the county responsibilities. And what they've done is, as you read through this, I'm just going to give you a summary of this. They've basically broke this down into 3 categories. There is a client service and needs area, operation costs ineligible for use by probation fees, and operational costs that are eligible, but they must meet a 70-30% formula. What the 70-30% formula is that we have to spend 70% in client services, be able to use at least 30% of the total expenditures on those operational costs eligible for, again, use of probation fees. So it's.
Run that by me again, Chuck. You gotta.
It's a 70-30 formula.
I listened to your meeting the other day, and I'm still not sure what that means.
Okay, all right. So, yeah, I'm sure there's somebody down in Springfield that spent some time on this one. What it is that we have our total expense, okay, and probation fees. So out of whatever our total expense is, 70% of that has to be spent on client services. Areas like drug testing, counseling services, emergency shelter, evaluation of substance abuse, evaluation of mental health, sex offender testing, incentives, client records, those things. So 70% of whatever our expenditures are have to be of that in those select categories.
Okay,
And then if we have whatever that total is, we can spend up to 30% of that amount, the total 100%, on those areas they designate as operational costs eligible for use of probation fees.
Okay.
So there's certain, operational costs, like, we've got only two areas here. If you look at my spreadsheet on here, I've got them highlighted in yellow, the education, the office supplies. That would be like for paper, stuff like that. But even within those office supplies, like, we have our water, our bottled water that we have to put it, in the office for use for any number of things. That's ineligible. So whatever that amount is in the course of a year, it would have to come out of our general operation costs, miscellaneous, at some point. But there's other areas in there, office supplies and education, that we use probation fees on. But the amount we can spend on that is going to be dependent on how much we spend in those other categories above there, in the white, those evaluations, those client services. So when you look at, on my spreadsheet, I've got it down, I've increased areas, again, like professional counseling services, I've increased that by 20%. I've increased emergency shelter by 50%. Evaluation of mental health, 76%. Sex offender testing by 50%. In those areas, try to increase the ability for us to push up that amount to get to 70%. Now, whether we spend it or not is going to be dependent on the needs that year.
Yeah.
Like this year, I mentioned in our committee meeting, we've done 12 psychological evaluations this year at $2,000 a pop, so that's 12,000 there. Next year, we might only have to do 2 psychological evaluations. Well, there's no way of determining that. So with that 70/30, it's going to be something that is going to adjust year by year based off our expenditures the previous year.
Wow.
So with that being said, he put 10,000 for the general operating expenses because he took the education line and the office supply line. He spent about $30,000 this year, so he took the 10% of that, and that's where he came up with the 10,000 for the general operating expenses.
Okay. Who's gonna track all this? You gonna track all this, Jake? Yeah.
Chuck does a good job tracking it all.
I imagine it's Chuck, isn't it?
It will be me. It will be me.
So with that being said, those line items are all new in there, and it's about, what was it, like $54,000? And there was a question as to where does that $54,000 from probation fees goes? Obviously, it just stays in probation fees, which has to be used for probation fee expenses per the guidelines that were just released to him, so. His dues and, that was new. Then the other county state salary, we are reimbursed on that, but it does come out as an expense, and the reimbursement goes obviously into the general fund. The general operating expense, we explained that new line, payroll, contractual, and union employees and contract, and then, there was a change there, Doug, you can see on your note, his payroll elected official department head, that should just be one salary, and there was the assistant salary in there as well, and we moved that down. So that for the payroll elected department head should be, what did we say? About $80,000. And then we increased the other line, we took the difference, so the $70,000 would go to the other line.
What other line?
Just the regular payroll line.
Oh, okay.
I did confer with Jeannie that that's where it is being paid out of.
Okay, so the regular payroll line is $1,694,000. That's why that went up.
Correct.
Okay.
What was that, 1,694 what?
694,118.
Okay. And the other one we had at how much?
1,626,118.
No, the payroll elected official department had.
82,000.
82, okay. And then overtime, we kept it 3,000. So his request amount for 2026 is 2,291,225. Increase of 7.36%, and again, that's due to what he had to move over from his probation fee account.
Okay.
Any further questions on that one? Okay, his next one is 026, which is his probation services fund. Physicals, we kept the same. Counseling, we did increase that by a little bit, along with the emergency shelter and evaluations of substance abuse. And the mental health evaluations again. As he stated, this is hard to predict. It just depends on what the need is. That can change from year to year. And then we removed those line items that are no longer eligible. Sex offender testing, we did increase that. Education, we decreased that by 1,000. The dues and subscriptions obviously moved over to the general fund. Incentives, miscellaneous expense, office supplies and expenses, we kept the same. So his request amount on 026 is 67,000, decrease of 46%. Again, that was due to moving those line items over to the general fund. And then on his revenue side, we put interest income at 18,000 and probation service fees we did decrease that just based upon what we were projecting for the year. So request amount of 83,000 there.
So you reduced probation service fees.
Correct. And that's just based upon the projections for this year.
Okay. And the interest income. Every other department I've seen, they've lowered it.
Right, but you can see that last year, we're above where we were at last year. So we're trending higher right now, so I think we were trending about 20,000, so I did decrease it a little bit, just due to rate fluctuation.
Okay. And cash on hand for that fund is about
Yeah,
509,000 something. Yeah. We're in pretty good shape there. Okay.
Hang on one second.
49.
That is his grant fund. So,
Okay.
and you'll see on his cash on hand, I think it shows like 15,000 in the red. He is just waiting on payments there.
Okay.
Professional service, we decreased that. What's the first line for professional services? It didn't print all the way. Because the next one is physicals and drugs. Okay.
So that second line's drug testing, essentially. It's physicals for professional services and drug testing. Sometimes with these grants, what we'll do is we'll contract, we have a subcontract with OSF that like on weekends, we'll have, these are intensive supervised clients. So we'll have them come in and be drug tested on weekends. So the combination of that plus any other requirements we may need to do with drug testing with the clients or, again, professional services as far as counseling or anything like that, it's covered under those two lines under this grant, so. And the thing I will say about the grant is this, you know, we have submitted the grant to ACEJA with the state, and it's been approved, and we've been appropriated the money for that, so whatever these line items are, this is what's been vetted by the state, they've reviewed it, they've approved it, this is the amount we're gonna be getting, this is what we've been guaranteed through this grant for
Okay.
county fiscal year 26, or state fiscal year 26, I
Okay.
should say.
So some of the numbers may appear high based upon his expenses, but this is what the state has said he is going to receive. So that's why the numbers are plugged in there.
So this is through July 1st of next year. Right.
Correct.
Okay.
So on the intensive probation grant, he's requesting 231,320, and then on the redeploy grant, the juvenile grant, he's requesting 717,860, and then on the TAC grant, he's requesting 159,653 for a total of 1,108,833, an increase of 6.4%. And then on his revenue side, again, as he just stated, this is money that has already been awarded from the state. Between the three grants, he'll receive 1.202229.
Okay. Questions? I don't know how to phrase this. Exactly. What's the biggest increase in services that you see? Is there a trend? Is it still the drugs and dealing with all the ramifications of all the drug use? Is that still the biggest?
As far as in the service area, as far as the clients we see, there are a lot of drug treatment services that we need to take a look at with that. Some of the mental health issues, I mean, there's some need in those areas, and we anticipate, we've seen some reduction in some areas as far as, Medicaid ability to pay for some of this, so we've tried to help provide some support for some of our clients in that, so I'm anticipating that's gonna probably be increasing as we move forward. But as far as the clients in need that we have, it's a combination of, dual diagnosis issues of mental health and substance abuse, or just simply substance abuse as the basis of the rationale for their crimes. So
Okay.
that's what we tend to try to focus on, try to work with our clients on, so.
Okay. Thank you. Any other questions? All righty.
Okay, and then we have Jake from LaSalle County, so Jake from State Farm.
Jake?
This is D-Home. Obviously, D-Home money has to be spent on D-Home expenses. It is one of the funds that we do levy for. So let's start, we're just gonna go over the line items that have changed. His contract, his physician's contract, we did increase that by $5,600. The transfer to the 98 health insurance, as Melissa said, that is for the administrative costs, his small portion that he pays. Electricity, we increased that by 5,500, just uncertainty on the rates. The water sewer increased by 600. The back page, supplies increased by 1,000. The provisions, which is the snacks and food, we increased that by 3,500. The bed check system, that is going to be paid for this year out of this year's budget, so we were able to remove that. The health and life insurance, his active employees went up some, his retiree amounts did go down some. And then his payroll, again, is just all contractual and so forth. Part-time benefits, we increased that by a little bit. And then overtime, we increased that by $2,800. So his request amount for 2026 is $1,903,337, increase of 1.622%.
Okay.
And then his revenues coming in, last year we did leave his tax levy at the same, just, he has been trying to spend his money down, but again, all of his expenses are almost reimbursed at 100%. So we'll see what, finance decides on the county, or the county sets his tax levy yet, but we did put a small increase in there of $25,000 approximately, so his request amount for his revenue is 1.830808. Percentage change of 11.108%.
So why do we have a cash balance in there of almost $3 million?
As almost everything that he spends money on, he gets reimbursed.
Okay, so what are we gonna do
Between
with that?
salary reimbursements and the orphanage tuition fund, which the last 3 years, we've basically gotten fully reimbursed. We've gotten more money than we ever got.
Yeah.
We've had many slim years before, and they're probably coming.
Well, I don't know if it's necessarily a good idea to let that kind of money just sit there though either, so. We may look at like the health department did, trying to spend it down. Build a new building or something, Jake. Huh?
Didn't you need a new
Did I
van
say
or
that out
something?
loud?
Let's wait and see if the federal government shuts down today.
Yeah, really. No, I'm just thinking we need to keep it, some of these cash balances just continue to grow and. we
Just
need to-
adjust the levy
You've
accordingly.
been getting reimbursed, but are any of them in jeopardy?
What's that? That, Like the orphanage tuition fund, we get a check twice a year. That has been going down compared to what it used to be. So far, not really, but that's the state one I'm worried about, the AOIC. If they don't give us, we've been getting almost 100% reimbursement. It's all my payroll, basically. So, but if that goes down,
Are you
which
at
it
full,
has before.
are you at full staff, Jake?
What's that?
You still short staff or you?
Yes.
full- How many are you short?
6?
6?
6.
Take some of that money and give them a signing bonus or something, get some people.
He's got about 1.4 million in payroll, so
Yeah.
that'll ease that up real quick if you start losing.
Yeah, but he's got 2 years worth of payroll in the bank. Okay. Any other questions? All righty. Thank you all very much. You're released.
You're welcome.
Okay,
And our last one is the nursing home.
nursing home.
So I'm going to present the budget as it was presented to the committee, and then Kathy did have a couple changes that we're going to talk to finance about and go over.
Okay.
So, first of all, the expenses, the water engineers going up by 4,000, professional consultants going up by 7. The contract service part A therapy is going up by 40. They do not need the computer hardware switches this year, so we removed that. The medical director's salary is increasing. We're doing that a little bit different to where there will be more time spent at the nursing home and all patients will be seen. Is that correct, Kathy?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Our previous one, that was not the contract, so that's
But it's going up 4 times?
because they are going to be seeing all of the patients versus just their own patients, and they will be spending more time at the nursing home.
Is that required by the law? By state
Yes, it
law?
is. On top of it, with the contract that we have with the new medical director versus what the old medical director was doing, that the medical director will be involved with policies, with our QA meetings. He will be part of what he's supposed to be doing for and with us at the facility.
But it's with a corporation, right?
It is.
Okay.
Okay, then her portion for her administrative costs on the health insurance, extra help, we did increase it by 35,000. As you can see, we're already over budget for this year. That is like the grape tree, the contractual services that we hire out due to staffing shortages. Maintenance and repair of the building and equipment. We increased the maintenance and repair of the buildings by 10,000. The vehicles, we decreased by 5,000. And then the other line is 10,000. I can't, hang out a second. I don't remember which line item that is.
Well, wait a minute.
That's what I'm looking up. Okay, so 502,003 is the building. So that one was increased by 10,000. 502,002 is the vehicles. That one we decreased by 5. And the first one is equipment. We increased that one by 10.
And what about contracts? The last one.
We increased that by 10 as well.
What's that?
Like your copier contracts, just the contracts throughout the building. Kathy, what else does that cover, Brittany?
It's for any contracts, for the fire extinguishers, for anything with maintenance that we have contracts for that they come out and inspect, that's what we use that for.
you've spent it, so, in the last couple of years, so I guess we need to keep doing it. Can we go back for a minute, though, Steph, up
Sure.
on, extra help, you increased that to 450,000?
Well, last year they budgeted 315, and this year we're already at 412,000. She is currently short-staffed, and the problem with that is depending on who calls off or what they're short-staffed, depends on whether you have to bring in a CNA or an RN, and those contract services charge a lot more than what we would pay if they were an employee here.
So why is there a separate line for PRN help? Isn't there all extra help?
That line there is for employees of the county. They are just called in as an on-needed basis. So she may call them in, they may not be able to work because there's no benefits and it's just a PRN status.
You call our people in, but there's no benefits?
They're PRN RNs. So what they do is they sign up that if we do need them, they come in and as a PRN status, as a PRN RN status, there are no benefits. They may come in and only fulfill if we need someone for 4 hours. So
Okay.
that is why they are hired.
So
If-
what's the difference between that and extra help? That's where
The extra help is all contract help. So say if we're short nurses or we're short LPN or if we're short CNAs, then we have to contract them out with the
Right.
two more basic contract entities that we use, and they're extremely expensive.
Yeah.
The PRNs kind of set their own schedules
Right.
because they're just kind of,
As needed is what it comes down to.
and a lot of them are probably retired and just
Absolutely.
looking for a little extra money here and there, so.
And a lot of them actually work multiple places PRN,
Yeah.
because that's just what they just want to pop in and out and fulfill that many hours.
They're not regular employees.
Correct.
Like the people that the extra help are?
The extra help are contract people. So we would have to set up a contract with a company.
And
There.
okay.
Right,
Yeah.
PRNs
Extra
are
is
actually,
Grapetree.
they're interviewed and then they are hired as a PRN RN. So they
Okay.
know that coming in, they get a specific rate of pay and then no benefits, and they're fully aware of that
So
because.
they're not contracted out through another?
No.
Correct.
Whereas
No,
the people
only
that are
the-
under extra help are?
Correct, absolutely.
Okay, okay,
Okay.
thank you. Okay.
Okay, second page, inspection fines. We left that the same. Obviously, we haven't been using that, which is great. Travel, we left that the same. Electricity, we did increase that by 25,000, again, just due to the unknown of what rates are going to do. Water, sewer, we're currently over budget, so we increased that by 13. Natural gas, an increase of 25. Telephone, a small increase of 150. Internet, cable TV, this is provided to the residents, an increase of 7,500. Waste disposal, increase of 3,000. Pest control, an increase of 100. Medical waste, increase of 1,000. Postage, an increase of $300. Employment ads, an increase of 1,500. Education, an increase of 2,500. Dues and subscriptions, an increase of 5,000. Marketing, an increase of 2,500. Furniture and bedding expense, an increase of 10,000. Medicare Part B, increase of 50,000. This is the fee we pay to them, correct?
Who?
To Medicare?
Yeah,
Yes.
Yes, this is the fee we pay to Medicare.
okay.
No, I'm sorry. It's actually what we pay the therapy company.
The therapy?
So every month right now, we're paying them and then we recoup that money. So we pay them based off of how many residents they're treating, and then we receive that money back after I bill the insurance.
Do we receive all of it back or just?
It depends. Some of it
portion?
comes back from the resident themselves, what the insurance doesn't pay, so it comes back differently. It may
Okay.
show as private pay. Some of it, we have to write off a very small percentage of it just due to their insurance. But we receive most of it back.
Okay.
Oh, I think I skipped over the provider participation fee. That's the fee we pay.
That's the Medicaid
The
monthly
okay.
bed tax, yes.
Personal hygiene, we decreased by 5,000. Office supplies and expenses, an increase of 10. Maintenance supplies, an increase of 5. Dietary provisions, an increase of 50,000. And again, some of these numbers are over this year due to, last year was the first year that Kathy had come on and we did the budget together, so it was a learning experience. So again, that's why some of the numbers may appear off. Activity
Do we
supplies,
contract?
I'm sorry?
Contract that, don't we?
Which,
The diet stuff?
the kitchen, yes,
Yeah.
we do.
So, did we already approve that contract?
It is from
Yeah.
last year,
And it's gone up then?
correct,
So the contract was approved for 650,000 for next
correct.
year? Okay.
Activity supplies went up by 1,500, nursing supplies up by 50, housekeeping supplies up by 14, laundry supplies up by 3,500, linens an increase of 2,000, nursing medications an increase of 10,000. These are the medicines that only nurses can give out, not your Tylenol, aspirin, etc. The office equipment, an increase of 1,000. Equipment expense, an increase of 10. Medical equipment, an increase of 15,000. Site improvement expense, we're gonna come back to. The health and life insurance, the active and retirees, those are the accurate numbers that I received from Melissa. Payroll, that number you'll see is kind of high compared to what we spent this year, but as I stated, when we do the budgets, we do assume that all positions are filled. Kathy, do you know how many open positions you have currently?
Right now, I'm looking at 7 open CNAs and 5 open nurses, and then I have left the ADON position open in this amount, and also, as I'll be bringing it to the nursing home committee next month, is a scheduler. So that was also put in there. And then we also have positions open in laundry and housekeeping and activities. So that's where we stand right now.
How many did you say for housekeeping?
We have 1 in housekeeping, 1 in laundry, and then 2 in activities.
So that's 18 positions that she's currently down.
Correct.
The part-time, no benefits. This is, what is currently under that line?
To that respect, I can honestly say I don't know.
Okay,
I will have to
I'll
find
look
out.
into that
Okay.
when we
All right.
start talking about a couple other things.
All right, thank you.
Uh-huh. And then the
'Cause that
overtime,
might be zero, right?
I'm sorry?
It
That
could
might-
be,
That might
yes,
be zero.
correct.
Well, but my concern is that we have paid out $23,000 so far this year. So let me look into that and I'll get back on that one. Overtime, we kept that the same.
Was that for the driver?
Is it for
the
the
va-
what?
Driver for the van?
No, not yet.
Okay.
So her total request amount for 2026 is 9.761249. And then if we look at the revenue, we did a 3% increase on the levy again, just not unsure of that.
Well, I think
Interest,
we need to look at that too, in light of the fact that, just like the D-home, the nursing home has a cash balance of $2.5 million.
yeah, I'll get to that in just a second. Interest at 80,000, miscellaneous income, the QIP incentive, we increased that to 85,000. Patient contributions at 592. Private pay patients, we kept the same. Public aid, we did decrease that by some, just based upon projections from this year. Public aid wire transfers, we increased that. And the only difference between those two line items is just how they are paid and how the money is sent to the county, whether it's sent by paper check or an actual wire transfer. Medicare Part A and B, Brittany, are these the amounts that we receive back from therapy?
Yes.
And the Medicare coinsurance Part A and B?
Those are if they have secondary insurances to regular Medicare A or B, such as an AARP plan or Blue Cross Blue Shield. That's what we receive for therapy as well.
Okay. Patient insurance payment, kept that the same. Hospice payment, we did increase that, just based upon, that was a new program, so we were unsure of what we would bring in on that, so based upon current trends.
Mr. Chairman.
Excuse me, yeah. Could you explain the hospice payments then, how that works? You're
Those are
assuming you're going to pull in another 175,000, so how does that work?
Anybody that is put on a hospice right now and that is qualifies for Medicaid, I send over to the specific hospice company. They do their own billing and then they basically just reimburse us. So it's basically a Medicaid payment, but it's coming from the hospice company itself. So if somebody's on hospice and they're actually private pay for room and board, we do not receive any money from them. Hospice only reimburses us for the medications.
Don, the big increase though is because we only budgeted 300,000 last year, but we've brought in 431,
Yes, yeah,
so.
431.
Yeah, so we were off on our projection last year, so that's why it looks larger than. And then the transfer from there was 16, from the risk management insurance of 393. So total revenue is 8,018,380.
Is what?
8,018,380. Correct. So Doug, as you were saying, they have 2.5 million currently on cash.
Yeah.
The budget right now is at a deficit of $1.7 million, so that would leave them, if they spent everything and we bring in everything, that will leave them $826,000, $826,151 in cash. So they are using up their cash. Now, there is a line item that Brittany would like to bring back. We used to have it. It was the laundry/incontinence line, which covers the briefs.
I got a question about that
Oh.
first. We got the levy in there for next year at $1,809,000.
That's
So-
just a rough estimate, but,
So even with that, you're still gonna be short 800,000.
correct. No, we're short 1.7 million.
If you look at total expenses are $9,761,000.
Oh, okay, yeah.
We're only at $8 million.
Okay, even with the levy at that amount.
Correct.
Okay, all right.
The thing to remember though, again, as I stated, her payroll line is higher because we do anticipate that all those positions are filled. So she probably has about an approximate of $1 million that's probably overstated there of unfilled positions. But there is a line item that we need to add under the patient insurance payments. If we could put laundry/incontinence, which covers the briefs for the patients, we'd like to make that $30,000.
That's not covered elsewhere?
It's currently coming out of housekeeping, and it should not be coming out of housekeeping.
Housekeeping line item covers what then?
I'm sorry?
Is that housekeeping supplies, you mean?
Yes.
So then are we lowering housekeeping supplies? to zero?
No, she said we needed to leave that the same.
So what's in there now besides what
Yeah,
we're
if
talking
it-
about?
Housekeeping, we pay all of the cleaning supplies for the facility, all the garbage bags, all of a new mop for when they're cleaning, any garbage cans, gloves. And they order them pretty often because they throw away, obviously, after they use gloves once, they throw them away.
But I mean, you're
Towels.
setting up a new an expense where you wanna add 30,000, and you don't even spend 30,000.
It
with
was-
that and everything else.
Yeah, it was being, so right now, I met with the housekeeping director and we estimated it's about $1,200 a month for briefs for the amount of residents we currently have in the facility that we're purchasing briefs for. That can go down significantly or it can increase throughout the year depending on which residents come and go. We just wanted to have enough in the actual line item. And years ago, she did tell me that wasn't a line item that we only used for briefs. Since I started last July, I've been pulling them from housekeeping and also from personal hygiene, which personal hygiene, I've also just been pulling, obviously, hygiene products from shampoo, body wash, stuff for the residents. So it made more sense to have its own line item because it's so expensive and rather than take from housekeeping's budget.
We
But-
did
but you
drop the
have
personal hygiene line, Craig, by 5,000, and housekeeping supplies is currently over budget by 5 right now because she's pulling that out of there.
Yeah, but part of that 21,265 is the briefs,
Correct.
yeah.
1,200 times
Which 1,400 a month, or 1,200 a month? did you say?
About $1,200 a month.
So you got 14,400. So basically you got 7,000 of that is housekeeping supplies then.
Well, housekeeping, okay. I mean, I'm not sure how long we've been paying for that. I mean, maybe we could keep housekeeping supplies at 16 or 20 if we pull the briefs out of there.
Yeah, I'd rather keep it at 20. I don't want to be short on that department.
So instead of 30, maybe keep housekeeping supplies at 20?
That's fine.
So,
Well, in
20
2024,
in housekeeping supplies and, what, 15 in that other line item?
In the
15
laundry?
in the incontinent brief item, we can't go just 15,000.
Well, if you figured $1,200 a month, that's 14,000.
Yeah.
Okay. And if we run out, we go over budget, they're expensive. I don't know if anybody knows, but they're awfully expensive.
Well, the only question that, the logic, if you're gonna take it out of one line item and put it in its own separate line item, part of that current line item is, the expense for those briefs.
Right, right.
That's the only thing we're saying is,
pushing the balloon.
Yeah.
One's gonna go down, one's gonna go up.
Yeah.
So housekeeping supplies, can we decrease that to 20,000?
Yes.
Doug, how does that sound?
Yeah.
Okay. And then can we do the laundry incontinence at, it's 14,400, so can we do it at like
just do it at
16,000?
just do it at 15.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
I said 16, just to give them a little,
Yeah. Yep.
so that we will move to 16,000?
So you were asking for $30,000 in that one line, and that included the laundry incontinence. So now you got 20,000 in that line and 15 for laundry incontinence. So.
Yeah, so laundry incontinence, we're gonna change
So
that
it
to.
actually got a little more.
Well, no, because they wanted 30 in there, so we're gonna take that down to 16.
20.
No,
Housekeeping supplies is gonna
you-
be 20.
No, I was on the incontinence, so I'm sorry.
You wanted the incontinent at 30, did you say?
No, that one at 16, correct?
Correct.
Laundry incontinent at 16, that's that new one I wrote in there, Doug.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
Okay, so that one at 16. And then the housekeeping supplies, we said at 20.
Yeah.
Where are you taking the other 4 off there?
Well, she took 5 off of personal hygiene.
You just raised it. You got 20,016 is 36.
Right.
And we were at 60.
We were at 30.
She wanted 30 in both lines.
Oh, yeah, she wanted 30 in both lines, Craig.
I got 20.
Yes, that's what we're gonna make it.
Hygiene's 20, housekeeping supplies is 20 instead of 30,
Yeah,
and incontinence is 16 instead of 30.
yeah,
You guys don't have incontinence on there. That was the new one that was just suggested.
yeah.
So we just raised the expense to $6,000. So you got 20 and 30 is $50,000.
On your sheet, yes. On Doug's, no.
Yes.
She wanted to originally raise it by 30
Yeah,
For the,
for the laundry.
for the incontinent thing.
Correct.
Yeah. And,
so we have less of a raise, Craig.
So we lowered that down to 16.
Yeah.
yeah, you were raising housekeeping 14, but you're over budget by roughly around 6.
Yes.
Yeah.
Craig, that's not written in on your, the incontinence was not written in on your guys'
Yeah.
line items. Okay, any other questions before we go to the next part of this budget?
No.
Okay, so Kathy had gone to her committee and asked for some site improvement expenses. And she wanted to add some new lines in, for a patio project, a deck project, front sign message board, a lawnmower, overhead fire doors for kitchen, pump house portable meter, the water tower cleaning, which we normally do. How often do we do that, Kathy?
Every 2 years.
Every 2
And
years?
it's coming up next year.
Okay, so it's due in 2026. The water tower painting and cleaning both?
Yes.
Okay. Resident room repairs, sidewalk repairs, floodgate boiler room, and the rewiring of the laundry room. All of these projects would add up to another $546,000. So if we add all of those projects in there, minus what cash they had left on hand, that would leave them with $280,000. So, well, we're here asking for some guidance. I mean, there are some projects that have already been started. Kathy, which ones have already been started?
Well, none of them right now have
Oh,
actually
okay.
been started. They've been
Which ones
discussed.
were approved by your
But
committee?
the ones that have been discussed and that we need done is the water tower, is the resident room repair, is the laundry room rewiring, is the sidewalk repair. Those 4 in particular are necessary. I had also gotten approval to put outside cameras on the surrounding facility. So, and the last meeting, the site improvement account had just been dropped to 0 with no other discussion. Some of these things I do need for the facility, for the residents, for the staff, in order to move forward.
Do you know how much the cameras were?
About 54,600.
54.6?
Yep. The water tower cleaning is 30 and the painting is 30. The resident repairs, honestly, we wouldn't know until we started. The sidewalk repairs, there again, we would have to have someone come out and take a look at everything. As far as I was also given an opportunity to have a business come out and do professional landscaping on the trees and the cutting, which then they are going to, I'm going to look into having them come out again. I have no money for that because the site improvement line was taken down to 0. So right now, I'm working for nothing to fix the place up.
Wouldn't property handle some of this?
Should.
I'm just
We're looking at
wondering,
the possibility of the lawn mowing service and that going out for bid for that for next year as a possibility. I talked with Mike out there, the situation with water tower, at the very least, should be cleaned inside.
Yeah,
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
yeah, for sure.
So these projects that need completed for FY '26, the cleaning, the painting, the resident room repairs, the sidewalk, and the rewiring of the laundry room total 151,600.
Also, the B-wing shower room floor needs to be redone, and that was, the last D-wing was right around, how much, 72, about $7,200, $7,300.
Under 10,000, you said?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So if we did 161,600, because that included the cameras as well.
What's the wiring repair? What's that?
I'm sorry.
What's the wiring repair in the lawn?
The laundry room, the wiring in the laundry room needs to be updated.
Because,
It's old,
so am I.
so am I, but neither you or I are going to start a fire. Neither you or I are going to start an electrical issue in a building.
Have we actually looked at that, or have we, that's just somebody's?
That's coming from my maintenance department.
What's our capacity right now? I mean.
Right
resident-
now,
what are we-
resident-wise, we're at 63. We
We're at
should be at
60.
65 in the next couple months. I'm looking at 70 by the end of the year, which will be our cap, because then we run out of dining room space.
Okay, so 70's our cap.
Right now, until I can make a bigger dining room.
And we're
yes.
down about 18 people,
Mm-hmm.
18 positions?
Mhm.
All right. When's the last time we hit the full, the odds of us getting the full 18 people and be fully staffed is,
I
it's
would have
probably
to look
gone.
back in history.
yeah, I'm thinking we're probably, what, 70%, 80% of what?
Probably, on a normal basis. We are hitting our IDPH regulated numbers for staffing,
Well, I'm thinking we could reduce salary or payroll, because I don't think we're gonna hit
right?
fully staffed to
Right.
come up with some of the other money for these projects that we need to get done.
Absolutely.
And that's what I had told Kathy, you know, I do believe the payroll is inflated, which would make that deficiency balance not look quite as high.
Yeah.
So we could plug in $175,000 for site improvement.
Well, that should come from property, though, I think.
Can county property, since they have their own levy, cover that? I mean, county property doesn't normally cover the nursing homes because they're their own taxing entity and their own levy.
As far as I know, we have. Out of property. It's gotta be covered out of this levy. Why?
Who owns the building?
Well, maybe we should start.
Who owns the building? The county or the nursing
County.
home?
County.
County owns it, right?
Could actually make a case for taking it out of public safety.
Are we charging them rent?
Well, need to take a look at that payroll and see what those other positions, how much that is. And then compare it to the extra help, the grape tree in that, and see how that all balances out.
Grape Tree is our biggest punch when it comes to expenses for having people come in. They are phenomenally expensive.
Mr. Temple?
Yeah, but wasn't it what, 600, no, 350,000 you've budgeted for?
That's a
So then
lot
what's the
compared to
cost
what
of
we
the
pay
staff
them.
compared to the extra help?
Well, I can do those figures for you because it's an easy fix. We can take a look at what they actually charge us for an 8-hour. Normally, Grape Tree, when we get a nurse from them, we get charged, what, $100 an hour?
We're currently using 3 different staffing agencies, and they're averaging $80 an hour for a nurse. And that's not if they do a stat call, which means they need somebody right away, and then usually it's time and a half, so 120.
Well, I understand that, but what part of the budget is the overall payroll with all those extra positions in it compared to the $350,000 that's budgeted for extra help, which that contains Grape Tree and whoever else is doing it, correct?
He's saying they're double dipping. You
Right.
boasted the payroll up as you're gonna be full staff, but then you raised up your contractual, like you're gonna use more people, but we're gonna be
Right.
full staff.
But it will be it's a lot easier, I hate to say it, to go ahead and call contract right now. So can it be looked at double dipping? Sure, but we need bodies in order to cover, or we can't run. So if we don't have full-time staff available, we need those contracts to be able to come in. So we need money to cover both right now until we can get the contracts down because we've hired more people.
Right,
And then it will.
but if we keep our payroll wages down, then we've got an excuse. If the payroll wages go up, I should see my contractual go down through the year. So
Absolutely.
we can explain it through the budget. But
Absolutely.
you're saying right now, you're maxed out at full at $5 million, and we're maxed out full at what you think we're gonna use for contractual.
Right.
So I think that's what he means by double dipping.
Well, that's what I was saying. That $350,000 is taking the place of how much in payroll? Is it $350,000 or is it 750 or 800 or whatever the case may be?
I'll have to do the figures and get back to you. I can't answer that until I do the math.
Well, based on what I'm looking at right now, I think if we set the payroll at 4 million, I mean, we're trending at 3.4 million right now for the year. So if we set the payroll at 4 million, that would give her a buffer of 1.225 extra million in her budget.
That's a pretty big buffer.
I mean, we do have to remember that some of those positions that she does not have filled are union positions, so I don't know if we need to keep those in the budget.
Well, if I may again, Mr.
Yeah,
Chair.
yeah.
Basically, you're not simply looking at replacement of these positions. You're looking at the replacement of them at the current starting pay, which I'm assuming is not sufficient. That's the reason we have the open positions.
Correct.
So,
And I have broached that subject with my nursing home committee, and that's something that we have to continue to bring to light so everyone understands that if we raise the wages to these open positions, then we're not going to need the contract people that are charging us double from what we can pay someone. That's where we're at right there with the wages.
That's a long time coming, probably.
It is. We are honestly the
'Cause it's
lowest
all-
paid
It's
in the
all
area.
based on the union contract.
It is. But even the non-union, the couple positions that I want, the ADON and the scheduler. So in order to get an ADON in, we have to be competitive with what the wages are out there, or we won't get one, or we won't get a good one.
Well, I think we'll have to continue this discussion. Is that all right with the committee, and talk about it a little bit more before we finalize it? Because there's a lot of, and if you can get us some more information, Kathy, on some of those questions.
Sure, absolutely.
Tom, did you want to say something?
Just a quick question, please. You've already just, in this discussion, you had answered some of my questions. But the other thing is on your, on the provisions, who does it? Who's your supplier? For provisions for the patients?
Oh, for our you and our
Diet-
dietary?
dietary,
It's a company that is Healthcare Services, thank you. I always call them from Pittsburgh.
Okay.
So their healthcare services, their main corporation is out of Pennsylvania.
Okay, several years ago, we talked about getting one supplier that would supply the nursing home, the jail, and the detention home. Has that been explored lately?
It hasn't been, it was brought up, Melissa and I actually discussed something like that, and I would love to sit down with someone and go through all that. I don't have a problem with that whatsoever, but I think where there might be issues is because we have specific diets, and we have multiple specific diets, which isn't a problem, as long as everyone understands that, you're not gonna have someone that needs to be put on a specific diet anywhere else of those three entities. But at the nursing home, it's an immediate must. The dietary values are completely different than any other entity out there.
That, as you say, that was the way we had to do it with jails and detention. There's specific
Yeah.
diets there that people have as well.
Okay.
There are people that are sick, that have other issues.
I'll
This
be
is what they
more
can
than
eat.
happy to talk about it.
So that was a discussion that was had. It didn't go anywhere at that point in time. There was, I don't think there was enough of a difference between the two, or there was too much of a difference between the two for it to be feasible. I just don't know if it's been talked about lately again, because it just makes sense to have one company
Yeah.
take care of everything, as opposed to another contract to argue with and back and forth as far as their staffing goes and on and on. I mean, it possibly could even be shifted between the two places if in fact they became short. So it's just something that I would like to see if there is anything that could be done. It's not gonna close the budget gap that much,
Right.
okay, but it's gonna close it somewhat depending upon, of course, what the dollar amounts would be.
Yeah, I'll be happy if you have someone that wants to reach out to me. I'll be more than happy to set up a meeting and discuss it. I don't have a problem with that whatsoever.
Would be Jason and Jake, right?
Yeah, Jason certainly, and I guess
Or
probably
Chuck.
Jason. I would just give Jason a call and see, because Jason probably has a lot to say about what,
Does Jason have a
happens.
last name?
Edgecombe.
Okay, thank you.
I'm sorry, yeah. Yeah, he's a jail superintendent.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. That's all I have.
And either Chuck or Jake, I don't know which one.
You must talk to everybody as long as you're gonna, if
Yeah.
you're gonna have a meeting.
Yeah.
If you get a chance to, they're all sitting right there,
Yeah.
almost in the same offices, so
Okay.
it'd be an easy meet for you.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. Wonderful.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Okay, so we have to revisit this and talk about payroll and then the projects that need to be done. I think we budget for them here, and then we do it in 28 though, don't we? We don't leave the projects in here, do we? We take them,
No, a nursing home is an enterprise fund, and
No,
we
yeah.
cannot do 28, correct?
True, okay. Okay. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you very much, everybody.
I think that's it for the budget stuff. The finance director and fees for the supervisor. Well, do we want to talk about fees for supervisor of assessment consultant first? Do we have anything on that?
Nothing further on that. We are waiting for information on the results of this most recent test.
Okay. Okay, and then the finance director, you've done the interviews, right? Well, I have a letter from Jeremiah Adams. He's, wasn't able to be here today, but I guess Mr. Herman's online if he's still there. And Jeremiah says, he expressed my opinion to Mr. Bailey and Mr. Jensen last week, but I wanted to bring this to your attention before someone is offered the job. My main concern for the finance meeting is that the board rules do not currently list finance director as a position subject to the appointment of the county board. All other appointed office holders and department heads are listed. In my opinion, the finance committee needs to request a change of the board rules through the appropriate committee that can be approved by the full board prior to offering the job to someone. My concern is that someone may act on the reliance that the job has been offered only to have the full board not approve creation of the position. And he goes on to say he's sorry he couldn't make the meeting today, but he says he may have missed this issue already, having been passed by the county board, at which point my concerns are irrelevant. I just thought I should bring it to your attention. So, as far as I know, that position is not listed in the board rules anywhere.
No.
But we did have a finance director, Joyce Tucker.
Yeah, we
years
did,
ago.
we did. And I don't know if we just hired her as a temporary consultant or how we did that. I mean, we could easily do this, I think, because there's a Legan Rules meeting next week, or is it next week or the week after?
No. next week, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It's October, isn't it? Yeah, so it could be put on that agenda for consideration by the county board, which is, the county board meeting is next Thursday. So that both those things could be done next week. And then we could go from there. I guess that's the proper way to do it, the way we should do it. Unless somebody else has, it wouldn't delay it that much to get the director's job in the rule book. So, any objections to that from anybody, or? Yeah, Craig?
I make a motion, we send it to the Leg and Rules Committee.
Yeah, okay. Seconded by Mr. Aubrey. All in favor? Okay. And then Reg and Rules can send it on to the full board Thursday, and it could be put in the rule book if that's what the full board wants to do. And then we can go from there and make everything official for it. Thank you, Mr. Herman and Mr. Adams, for your input.
Thank you, you're welcome.
You don't have anything else to add, do you?
No, that pretty well sums it up.
Okay. Okay. Anybody else have anything? Motion to adjourn by Mr. Templeton, seconded by Ms. Zanicki. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries.